Bismillah, in the name of Allah we start. Last session we stopped at the birth of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and now he is being raised in a single parent family household. What will she do? What's the practice of the people of Quraysh? Brothers and sisters, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is now under the care of Amenah, and from the habits of the people of Mecca is they used to send their children outside Mecca. These were the rich people. Why would they send them outside to Mecca? And before you say why, where? They send them to the open desert, Al-Badiya. Send them there away. Why? 3 reasons to share with you. Number 1, to protect their infant, their child, from being infected with diseases. So number 1, for health reasons. Even today, in 21st century, when you have a newborn baby, what do you tell your aunties and uncles? Please no kissing for 6 months, yeah? And with all the medication and all the science that we have, we're still worried because the baby is not healthy enough to withstand any diseases, correct? So that's what they used to do. Number 2, they used to send their children outside. Why? To maintain, and this is a very important point, give me your undivided attention. They used to send their children outside the elite so the child can maintain and learn the pure, powerful, majestic, extraordinary Arabic language. And that was one of the strongest aspects about the Arab. Most of them, majority, could not read or write. Yet they were experts in speech. Like, how does that really make sense? Just like how some of us here are good at speaking but horrible at writing. Some of us are really good at writing but they can't present very much, right? So we struggle. To them, their memory was so strong, the Arabic was so powerful. And they made sure, listen, when you go out there, we want you to learn the language because they're scared their children will pick up the slang, right? What do some of us do amongst the Arab that moved from whatever country? We put now English words in the middle of our Arabic speech, right? Ummi, mom. Uridu, sandwich. Right? So sandwich entered instead of you saying the word fatira or whatever in the world you say, right? Habibati ummi, abi, jazakallahu khaira, hamburger, لو سمحت, right? Hamburger, instead of saying fatirat lahm. So the point is that inserting words that are changing things. The third and last thing to share with you, why do they send them outside? It's like almost, not exactly like boarding school, it's like the elite, you know? Send them there so they can strengthen themselves physically and mentally. Physically and mentally. Physically, yeah, away from grandpa and grandma. Yes or no? Get strong physically. What happens today? If you're walking, whatever age you may be, 2, 3 years old, you walk, grandma, grandpa comes, maybe mom and dad comes. Shusa, what happened? What happened? I hit the podium. The podium? Did the podium? Did the podium? You made them cry? Did the? You go to the desert and if you get hit, you watch your way next time. Walk right. All right? So they get strengthened what? Physically. And they strengthen mentally. Because when you're in the out, looking at nature, you become visionary, yes? You appreciate the scenery. And there were studies from Stanford University where researchers found that people who walk for 90 minutes in nature, 90 minutes are on trees, rivers, whatever, nature, they had a significant decrease in the region of the brain that is associated with depression. That's what Stanford University. So, okay, wait. I like to compare. So what about if I walked 90 minutes in the city? Excellent, that's what they did. And they found that those who did 90 minutes of walking, but through the buildings and stuff like that, did not have the same positive impact as those who walked in nature. One more study from Stanford University, they found that those who walk in nature, spend some time outside, they felt lesser anxiety, they focused less on negative aspects of themselves, and had an increase in positive emotions and well-being. So inshallah, an action item, we will invest in our backyards, inshallah. Khalas? I have allergies from grass and trees and things of that sort, but just take that pill or whatever in the world we have to take, inshallah, and invest in it, inshallah. Sounds good? For your own sake, for the sake of Allah the Creator, if you wish, but just do something about it, inshallah. Or go to the park. Do something of that sort. And subhanAllah, just to appreciate me saying go to the park and also connecting about envy and jealousy, we have to look at people in a way that we appreciate what we have, correct? You should not look around and make yourself in more misery, mentally speaking, correct? So to connect the park with the envy and jealousy lesson, I just watched an interview for Cristiano Ronaldo, right? From my understanding, he's the #1 most followed person on Instagram. I don't care. Okay, you're jealous. Let's move on. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. You know, in the interview, Cristiano is asked, how do you handle fame with your children, things of that sort? Cristiano Ronaldo tells him, I want to ask you a question. How many times do you think I went to the park with my children? What was the answer? He said he did this, 0. Not once he went to the park. Why? He's like, I would love to, but the people will not allow me. So you know what? Maybe you have things better than Cristiano Ronaldo, who's that billionaire. Yes or no? He's worth half a billion. Just something to appreciate. So walk in nature, appreciate the parks that you have before you become famous. All right? That's the lesson. May Allah protect us. So with this being said, what will Amenah do? She wants her child to go there. But what's the problem? What's the problem, people? No father. And it was the father who used to pay the big money to have the children go. It's the elite. And how did it work? They don't send it to anybody. There's a tribe, focus with me, called Bani Sa'd. That's the name of the tribe, Bani Sa'd. And the way it worked, the people from Bani Sa'd, they used to come to Mecca and see whoever is available to do the work. So how about we do this? Ready? Let's use the narration of one of the wet nurses that used to work that type of job. Ready? Her name is Halima. So I'll do my best to narrate what she says. Bismillah. Ready. Halima says, we left our tribe, the area of Bani Sa'd. I had a donkey that was all wounded up, all scratched up. Why? Because the journey was so long. And with me was my husband Al-Harith, and with me was my son, and with me was a camel that hardly gave any milk. My son was crying all the way. Why? I'm not having much milk and we're struggling. We're going through some drought. It's not raining. But once we arrived to Mecca, and my donkey was so slow, it was embarrassing. I was one of the last ladies to arrive. We got there. For example, they set the booth, pamphlets. Here we go, sir. Go to the high-end areas who can pay. And one of the families presented their child, but was rejected. Who was that family? It was Amenah holding her son, Muhammad ﷺ. Halima says he was presented to every one of the wet nurses. You see how hard that mother was working? May Allah bless our mothers. She wasn't embarrassed. She said, I'll take a shot at it. I'll take a chance. She went to every wet nurse and they all turned him down. Halima says he was an orphan. Who pays? The father. How can we expect the mom to pay, or the uncle who has lots of children, or the grandpa who has a lot of responsibilities? She said, so we ignored him. Ya Allah. Then we went and she said, every one of my colleagues, every one of them got a child except me, which is not the usual, because usually there's what? A waiting list. But this is the time. I don't have a child. She told her husband, listen, this is embarrassing. I'm not going to go back to Bani Sa'd without a child. So what do you have? The only option is that orphan. This orphan. Take him. Husband said, I agree with you. Good decision. She said to her husband, perhaps God will bless us through this child. She goes to Amenah, give me your child, I will take him. Free tuition. Amazing. High end. So she grabs Muhammad along with her son and they start going back to where? To their tribe, their area of Bani Sa'd. How was her donkey doing? Horrible, eh? All of a sudden, Muhammad is here, her other son is here, the camel is here, and her husband Al-Harith. All of a sudden, the donkey, going so fast. What? She was shocked. What is going on? Other people like, hey, Halima, is this the same donkey or you changed it? It's the same one, but this boy is good luck. And she's going through the donkey, through horses, and like, imagine the donkey, what's up, right? And then going through the camels and the horses and no elephants at this time. So then proceeding, then she said, my husband, we took a break and my husband came and just checking on the camel. Oh, full of milk, Halima. This boy is something else. Good luck. They milk the camel. Halima drinks. The father drinks. Halima breastfeeds her son and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And she says, finally, my son who was crying all day and all night, finally got to sleep with rest and peace. Then eventually they went back to Bani Sa'd. It was what? Drought, remember? No rain. But they have to send their sheep to eat. So Halima sent her sheep, and for the first time in many days, if not weeks, if not months, they come back not with that quarter full, but full stomach. Sheep are like loaded. Wow. People are like, Halima, now how is that possible? So they told the people, listen, whatever Halima sends her sheep, we send all our sheep, okay? I don't care where she goes, we go after her. It's like someone when they're fishing, right? Sit next to him. Well, it's not about where the position is, but let's proceed. So they send the sheep next to Halima. Halima's sheep, they come back what? Full. The other sheep, what is this? What is it, like a prank? And they come back hungry and they're struggling. Halima told her husband Al-Harith, this boy is something special. Blessed boy. Then the period of which the child stays at that boarding school or at that place is usually about 2 years or so. And the mother, without a doubt, would to visit every now and then. And Allah knows best. The time came, and now they want to do what? They want to go to Amenah. Why? To have the stay to be extended. We beg you, Amenah, your child, amazing. Blessings upon blessings from your child. We believe he's a good luck. Then Amenah said, no, I want my child back permanently. I'm not sending him back and forth anymore. It's over. Halima said, listen, Amenah, listen. Pollution is serious. Okay? And Amenah, at that time, she was sick. So Halima said, Amenah, you are sick. Yes or no? Say it. See? Yes, you're sick. He's not ready. Yes, he's growing faster than other children. I agree with you. And he's maturing pretty quick and he's picking up the language. He's pretty awesome. I'll tell you, he's above average child. But still, don't take risks. Keep him with us for a little bit. Back and forth. What happened? Stay is extended. And Amenah says, okay, go ahead, keep him. But brothers and sisters, once Muhammad comes back, all the blessings that they're witnessing, if you wish to say it's divine from the Creator, say it. If you wish to say that's good luck, say it. But let's proceed. 3-4 months later, Halima's son is playing with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now they're running and walking, getting older. And all of a sudden, the son of Halima runs to her crying, Muhammad, I think he got killed. What? So what happened? The boy says, Mom, 2 people came, 2 adults, they came. They grabbed baby Muhammad, put him on the ground. They ripped his chest, did something with his body. And I don't know. Halima ran with who? Her husband Al-Harith. They saw Muhammad, he was standing, paled face, nervous. When Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw him, that baby Muhammad, he ran to Halima and he hugged her, started crying. Muhammad, what happened? My beloved, what happened? I was with 2 people, they came while I was playing. They put me on the ground. One guy ripped my chest, did something. Then he sewed me back with the skin and stitches. There is a mark of stitches. What? Al-Harith said, oh my God. Harith said, Halima, you lost it. I'm telling you, return him back to quickly before anything happens, please. Halima, she was thrown off. Did that story throw you off a little bit? So did Halima. So proceed. They go back to Amenah early. Amenah, I think your son is ready to go back home forever. Okay? Amenah's smart. She tells them what's the story, what happened. She said, no, nothing. He's growing, as you can see, above average height, above average strength, above average speech. Like, what do you want more than that? She says, don't play games with me. You were begging me for him to stay, and now you're begging me for him to return. What's the story? Nothing. Why She pushed back until Halima opened up. Listen, my son said and your son said, both exact same story. So these are two proofs, plus the third one, which was what? The scarred, stitches. Who does that? No one does surgeries at that time like that, open heart surgery. Maybe to you, by the way, now it's like, yeah, so what? Yeah, no, 6th century, people. 6th century. So then Amenah said, okay, and so we're going to return him back, and we think your son lost it. She said, no way my son lost it. No way. My son is a blessed child. When I was pregnant with him, the delivery was amazing. It wasn't so difficult. Not just that. When I was pregnant with him, what happened? I had a dream. That light came from my body that gave light to all the north, all the way to the Roman Empire. Give me my son back. No, he didn't lose his mind. And Muhammad ﷺ now, what happened after that strange incident? He goes back to his mother, Amenah. Being with his mom, Amenah, was a beautiful time. Imagine you have a child growing now, 6-year-old, like a first grader, respectful, listens, amazing, beautiful child, such a sweetheart. And then Amenah wants to do something amazing. You guys ready for this? Ready? Amenah's family in the first session, where were they from? Medina. Okay? So now Amenah, she wants to go see her family in Medina. But what she will do is, this caring, loving mother who cares about her family, she will include her son Muhammad in the trip. How far is it? 300 miles, about 4 to 5 hours drive. But these days there's no cars or air condition. It may take days, it may take so many, I don't know, maybe a week, depending on the situation. Muhammad, ready? Let's go. Before I proceed, can we learn that from Amenah? Can we? What? First of all, to stay in touch with family. And number 2, when you as a mom or dad call your brother or your sister, pass the phone to your son and daughter. Even though they may not understand the language, struggling. Oh, okay, mama. Oh, Eid Mubarak. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, right. It's okay. It's okay. Keep a connection. Keep a connection. That's what Amenah wants to do. Can we do that, inshallah? Brothers, youngsters amongst us, we promise next time mama says the phone, gives you the phone like, okay, with a smiling face, inshallah. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. So Amenah with Muhammad ﷺ, are they alone? To the most part, people don't travel just like that, mother and son, because remember, the safety is not the greatest, correct? So they would have possibly a very close friend to Amenah, who is Ayman. Possibly she was with them. Close friend and companion to Ayman, she was with her the whole time. In addition, you know, we have GPS today. They had their own GPS, but who's a human being. He knows the way to Medina. Ready? Let's go. And they go, and they go, and we all know that when you travel on a road trip with someone, you have the strongest bonds, right? Imagine you drive from Detroit to New York. You tell them all the secrets in the world that you have, yes or no? 10 hours, everything. And you make up stuff too. Like I know what happened to 75 years ago. I mean like 57, right? Because you talk and talk, there's nothing you're dying, right? Forget that. Think of Amenah and a wonderful child like Muhammad ﷺ. Talking, eating together, sleeping next to each other, camping together, the day and the night. And not just that, he's not a regular child, such righteous, respectful, kind, listens, amazing. Every mom would dream to have a child like that. And finally they arrived to Medina. I don't know exactly what happened, but can you imagine the receiving of Muhammad and Amenah? What a wonderful child that you have. But what I can confirm with you something. When he went to play with other children, the cousins and so on, he never cheated in the game. Never. Never lied. It was still fun to play with him, right? All that great stuff. Trustworthy. And people that respect, never got into a fight, this loser. None of that stuff. There's no narration that suggests that. Then eventually after the trip is done, they go back to Mecca. But something happens. What? Amenah, now they want to go back home to Mecca. She's not feeling very well. Amenah is struggling. Her health is not helping her. Perhaps they had to pause. Muhammad ﷺ, 6 years old, like a first grader, is seeing his mom suffering. There are no doctors or anything that can help her, and he's feeling helpless, and he sees his mother, and she's now on like her deathbed, and She's struggling. Amenah is not breathing. Amenah is very much struggling. Amenah's heart stops. Amenah dies. He becomes an orphan once more. The people feel horrible for Muhammad. They're sad for the death of the mom for sure. And Amenah, a great wife for Abdullah, a great mother for Muhammad, a great daughter for the family she went to visit, a great sister she was. And this orphan here comes once again. The people in that crew that were going back to Mecca, they believed it's not wise to keep the body for another 150 miles. So what will they do? Bury her where she died. You know what does that mean? There's an extreme high chance that the one who had to help with the burial was who? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not much people here. And imagine the emotions happening and there's no way out of it. May Allah bless our moms and dads. Very difficult for amongst us who have their parents around. Please do not take them for granted. Please. You see how sudden things happen, yes or no? Just went right away. So may Allah allow you and I, that the day your mom or your dad or you leave will be a day which you remember that you left on good terms. Say Ameen. Because wallahi, I swear by Allah, if your mom or your dad or you leave on bad terms, the level of guilt that will happen is something I don't know if it will ever be recovered. And some people who experience that know very well. May Allah protect us. And now, I'm not speaking to the children, I'm speaking to mom and dad. Mom and dad, your presence in your child's life is it's priceless. It's priceless. Studies have shown one after the other that the excessive absence of a father is so detrimental upon the child. It shows that when a father is gone for long periods, and specifically the father is pretty much like dead, the chances of the son or the daughter of having a psychiatric problem is 1 to 5. Out of 1 to 5 children who have such situation, they have psychiatric problems. May Allah bless our children. Say Ameen. So please, when you see an orphan, think of that. Help them out. We had people at Wayne State University presenting to us when I did my master's in business administration, all about management and stuff. We had people, millionaires, coming to our places. And they will come, and I've heard one after the other, presenters, guest speakers saying, please, when you go into your MBA program, you'll be busy. Yes, you'll make good money, but you gotta watch out. Family comes first. Family comes first. And one of them cried in the presentation. It shook us. One of them said, I went to my daughter's graduation ceremony. She saw me after the ceremony and she graduated. She told her dad, what are you doing here? He said, to witness your graduation. She told him, you did not witness anything from my life till now you come. Are you feeling bad for it? There's 2 ways to look at it. The girl should have been more grateful because he paid her tuition. Yes, but my angle of discussion is the father's absence. Why? For more money unnecessarily. Are you guys with me? So why am I saying it now? Let me finish it here. If you're in the process of moving to a higher end place and whatever the situation is, at the expense of your family, think of what was said, do some research. Because then the payments will be high, whatever the case is. And if you're still there, just read. May Allah educate one of us. Say Ameen. Educate us. Ameen. So then Muhammad ﷺ is witnessing all of this. What will happen next? He's coming back to Mecca, but without a mom or without a father. And what happens? Abdul Taleb, grandpa, he witnesses his grandson Muhammad. Where's Amenah? She's dead. Can you imagine how he felt for his grandson? Like, what are the chances? So he takes care of his grandson and he loves them so much, people. May Allah bless our grandparents. Say Ameen. Love them so much. Abdul Talib was growing Muhammad ﷺ. Muhammad now is about 8 years old. Physically strong, phenomenal speaker, and he's so great and respectful. He is so efficient and effective. What does it mean? When Abdul Talib, grandpa, says, do this, he does it right away and he does it the right way. From the first shot. One time Abdul Talib, he had a lot of camels. Few of the camels, they ran away. Ran away. So then what happened? He told, Ya Muhammad, go after the camels. Please get them for me. And Muhammad started running so fast. Running after the camels. But you know what's the problem? The camels went and went until Abdul Talib, grandpa, can no longer see Muhammad. And Muhammad went and went after the camels until Grandpa can also no longer see him. He got so worried, so nervous. Muhammad, waiting for perhaps hours, so nervous. Then he started going around what? The Kaaba. Then he said, Ya Rabbi, rudda rakibi Muhammada. Ruddahu ilayya wastani' indi yada. Oh my Lord, please bring back Muhammad. Oh my Lord, do me this favor. Bring back Muhammad. Oh my Lord, bring back Muhammad. Oh my Lord, do me this favor. Bring back Muhammad. He is saying it and so emotional, perhaps crying. It caught people's attention. Isn't this Abdul Talib? Isn't this one of the chieftains and the leaders of Quraysh? He is. So what's going on with this man? His grandson is lost. He kept praying, Ya Rab, return back Muhammad. You saw the connection. You see it. You feel it. And guess what happens? After some time, who comes? Muhammad ﷺ. Only Muhammad and the camels. Here you go, Grandpa. So Abdul Muttalib comes to Muhammad. He says, Ya Bunay, son, my beloved son, I was so sad for how absent you were. I was so much in pain that I do not think I will ever recover from it. I'm in so much pain. I know you're back, but the pain will always be there in my heart. And how do you think Muhammad felt? I'm that precious to you? Yes, he was. But once again, now what? Growing, seeing his grandpa not doing too well. His grandpa's health is going downhill. His grandpa struggling, his grandpa on the deathbed. Muhammad witnesses that. Muhammad is around, living in Mecca with his grandpa. Abdul Muttalib, grandpa, dies. How long he spent with him? Roughly about 2 years. The upbringing is getting very difficult. May Allah protect us. Say Ameen. Muhammad, will you agree with me? Muhammad is experiencing things people in their 40s and 50s experience. Yes or no? He's seeing things and he's learning as a sharp, mature person that life is temporary. Yes or no? And he's learning it's not just temporary, it is sudden. Like it just ends any minute. He's learning all of that stuff. So once again, learn these things, brothers and sisters. So what will he do now? He went to Abdul Muttalib grandpa, and now he moves to fifth move to his uncle Abu Talib. Abu Talib, a wonderful man. Respected and respectful. Had a lot of children, and now he included under him who? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Say sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which means peace and blessings of Allah may be upon him. So then Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam with his uncle Abu Talib. How old is he now? He's getting older, smart, sharp. He's about 12, 13 years old. Okay, what will he do now? He will become a man. In addition to what of a man he was already, he's just growing. And he realized, I'm not going to be independent completely. He realized that I don't want to be a burden on anybody. I want to lift other people's burden. Can we be like that? May Allah make us not burden on others, rather be people who lift other people's burden. Say Ameen. And that's what he was, about 12, 13 years old. Okay, and what does he want to do? He wants to join his uncle into a business trip. Interesting. Abu Talib is going on a business trip where? To the suburbs of Mecca? Around Mecca? No. Really? Where does he want to go? Medina? No. 300 miles? No. Where does his uncle want to go? To Asham, to what today is Syria. That's how far the trip is. And that 12, 13-year-old Muhammad is going to join him. What weather? What season is that? Summer. The summer season in which the heat of the sun can make the soil so hot, if you walk barefoot, it burns the skin. Yes or no? The heat of Arabia in the summer that will make an egg cooked without water. The heat of the sun and the sun rays from that weather, that if you look directly, it might make you blind. Yes or no? With all these factors, I'm going to go with my uncle, help him out because I want to be a responsible person. And that's another lesson, just a minute or two, please bear with me, of being responsible individuals. Can we be responsible, inshallah? You know, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes you're like, responsible of what, right? I feel you. And I'm guilty of that sometimes. So what do you suggest? The people of knowledge, parents, and so on and so forth, should be the ones that set what? Expectations. What is it that is expected of you? Well, that sounds pretty formal. Listen, when you go apply for a job, does the hiring manager not tell you, we expect of you in this job to do 1, 2, and 3? And us, and maybe those watching who are in this zone of parents coming from overseas and you being born here, you'll be pretty confused of what is expected, yes? So expectations is in accordance to where you live and the cultures and the norms of your family. I got you, as long as they are realistic. You like that? Got that? Realistic, right? It's not like you're 22 years old. Now you are responsible for 78 of your family members back home. How is that realistic? Right? Within realistic norms. And sometimes it's tough on you, but may Allah make it easy on you. Say Ameen. So it's only common sense. The more you grow, the more responsible you are. When you were a little baby, you had the bib, right? So they cleaned your mouth for you. They fed you. They washed the dishes for you. Now, you're 15. You eat from the plate, the expectation, you put it into the sink. Wow, seriously? Not just that, you put back the chair. Allahu Akbar. Both, not just that, if you're tall enough, you wash the dishes. La. That's is that expectations, yes or no? Yes or no? I guess people are like, it depends on the culture. What culture are you from, right? So, and then halas, if you don't have washed the dishes, put it in the dishwasher. Allah hook it up, right? So there's expectations. The older you become, that's how life becomes. May Allah make it easy. Say Ameen. Next, works as a shepherd. Why? Working as a shepherd was a low-class job. Yes. But he's back from the trip, about 2,000 miles round trip. He's back to Mecca, but I'm not going to wait till the next trip. They don't do it every time. So instead of me waiting for the next trip, in the meantime, I will work as a shepherd. That's so interesting. You know what one more lesson we get? If I were to stop at everything, we may not end, correct? But just a minute or two. Working as a shepherd. You know what does it teach you and I? What does it teach you? Having below minimum wage. One of the things that it teaches me as I'm reading is that don't be shy to start from the bottom. Yes or no? Don't be shy. Just last week, I was with a brother who does some really good business. He told me, I didn't even bring up the lecture or anything. He told me, people, I don't know what's wrong with the young adults these days. I'm like, why you say that? He said, I tell them, I'll give you this much money. I know it's a simple job, but you'll grow from it. But he said, I don't start with that wage. So if that's what's available and that's what you're capable, then why you're showing up to the bigger status that you're not worthy of yet? Yes or no? And I'll be honest with you, I was having issues with that as well. I had my beautiful mother, she came to me one time. I got married to my wife. I'm expecting a child. I finished my engineering degree around one of the worst recessions I experienced. Obviously, because I reached that point where I'm looking for jobs and so on. I've been applying for jobs, but no one is calling me. No one. So once I finished my bachelor's, instead of waiting, I entered into my master's in business administration. So when you do your master's in MBA, you look for management positions in general, correct? That's what MBA qualifies you for. So I was applying, and then my mom said, so what's happening? I said, Mama, I'm applying for jobs. She's like, okay, which jobs? I said, like engineering management. She's like, Majed, you want to be an engineering manager when you were never an engineer yet? Okay, Mom, what do you want? Right? So she drew me this thing on the paper, that's it. She drew me a line. She said, Majed, you're applying for jobs that are here on the top. Engineering manager, and I want to do stuff like that. When in actuality, you are here. I'm like, okay, ego crush right there. Jazakallah khairan. Only moms can do that. But yallah, it's okay. Wallah, my friend said that to me. I will put him here. Okay? Right? But your mom is saying, and she drew on paper. So she said, so therefore, you don't apply for management positions. Apply for entry level. You barely have any experience. I applied, Allah's my witness, over 200 jobs. No one is calling. Brother, not even an interview? Not even one interview. I went to the extent that I applied for jobs under that circle. Wallahi. I applied for co-op positions, internship. You know what's that, right? It's for students, not graduates. But that's how desperate I was. I'm waiting for a child that's coming on the way. My father-in-law and the family was going to happen, right? But I was blessed with the phenomenal in-laws. And may Allah protect us. Say Ameen. Allahumma barik. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. May Allah protect us from envy and jealousy. May Allah protect us. Anyway, may Allah grant you all blessed in-laws. Say Ameen. So expecting that child, and I'm telling my mom, so I applied for a co-op position. And then that was the one and only one phone call I get. Can you imagine? Hello? Yes, you applied for a co-op position at Chrysler headquarters in Auburn Hills, Michigan? Yeah, that's me. Well, we have an interview for you on such and such date. Okay, I'll be there. Crossing the borders, I used to live in Canada, coming to Chrysler, waiting all nervous. Got to the interview. And the interviewer, what does he have usually with him? The resume. So he grabs my resume, he's like, have a seat. Oh, I'm so sorry. Now why? He's like, you finished your bachelor's in engineering, and this is for students. I said, that's okay. I have no problem. I'll work 3 months, 4 months. So it's okay. We step by step, brother. I'm here. Right? Right? I didn't tell him that. I'm just adding it for the flavor for you guys. Okay? I said, no, it's okay. He said, no. He said, okay, listen. We can't do that. But guess what? We just have a recent opening, a full-time job. What do you think? Yeah. Whatever, right? But it needs 3 to 5 years of experience. But we can try because we really need people. Recession took people outside the company. We're desperate. We need someone ASAP with Allah's blessings. Then my mother's help, alhamdulillah, I got the job at Chrysler, full time. You know what's interesting? The way I did it was what? Mom is pushing me. Go, right? Step on your ego. Muhammad did it on his own. You feel it? On his own. I'm not shy. And against all odds, brothers and sisters, against all odds, he gets to that shepherd type of job where he cares for sheep. Okay, and what's so interesting? When you care for sheep, you grow skills. Yes, you grow skills. You see the sheep, so you grow the skill of courage. Yes or no? Why? Because they're away from the wolves when they come. When you care for sheep, Muhammad, he grew his skills of problem solving. A sheep knocking up the other one. You know what? You get away from here and then you go there. And teachers, in a way, with all the respect to children, don't take it personal, kids. Relax. I have 4 kids of my own. May Allah protect us. Say Ameen. When you have the shepherd type of jobs, you want them to stay united. Yes? So when you see one sheep went astray, whatever, that shepherd doesn't say, you know what? You want to be cool? I can't wait for the wolf to eat you. No, that shepherd has to go all the way there nicely. The art of advising to keep the unity. You're like, okay, I don't know if I can really relate to that. No, you should relate to that. You absolutely should be able to. How? How can he improve his skills with human beings when he's walking with sheep and working with sheep? Do firefighters, do they not bench press and lift dumbbells? Yes or no? And they work with steel. Why? Because when there's a house burning and they have to go inside and pick up a human being, they're able. Yes or no? So when he does such jobs, it's growing his skills even when he treats and talks to human beings. Are you guys with me? So similarly, he also learned the skills through what? Through business, remember? So he's growing, and against all odds, he was remarkable. He was truthful. I'm not saying, brothers, for a year or 2. He was always truthful. Not once did he lie. Not just that. He was a family man. He loved his family. He was always there with them. But you said mom and dad passed away and grandpa. Yeah, but there's extended family, cousins and whoever is around, uncles and aunties right there. Such a great family man. People love Muhammad. Muhammad is becoming the golden young adult of Mecca. They love him so much. Muhammad was so helpful, not just to the family, but even those around. Something remarkable. Muhammad was so thankful. He never forgot where he came from. So can we promise that? I will never forget where I came from. Remember that drawing? I'm not a top manager now. Relax, not yet, inshallah. But just as something to appreciate. Never forget where you came from. I came as a refugee, so I should never forget where I came from. I learned 2 years of ESL, so I should never forget where I came from. I'm sure many of us have stories here as well, yes or no? So never forget where you came from. He was so thankful to all those who did good to him. Not just that, he was very friendly and hospitable. People loved to hang out with him. People loved his house. He was always ready.